Bye.
Hi, hello. I did some grocery shopping and then I sat down. I've got about 40 minutes till I have to get the kids from school, and I saw that Foodie put a keto mukbang. Uh, okay, cat, come on now.
Alright, so this is my fasting blood sugar. Hope to
Julia
hear
have her
from
tongue
you.
sticking
Bye.
out there.
Alright, so this is my fasting blood sugar for today. That's the wrong time on the monitor. I'm gonna fix it now, actually, if I can figure it out.
I'm sure you could just go to settings and fix it. I mean, it does show that the date's wrong, so I guess it probably started from, 0 hour. That's extremely high. I would be horrified if that was my blood sugar.
So yeah, higher than yesterday a bit, which is weird. So hi guys, welcome back to another video.
It's not weird. It just means that you're not eating right. Still.
So today I have some diet food. It's food from a diet center. This is low carb from their low carb keto menu. I'm gonna explain everything.
Try to imagine, like the vegan option is so expensive, right? All vegan stuff is very expensive. So is keto stuff. It's the same kind of like fad type weird psychological thing that they do with veganism.
That I got. There's a lot of diet centers in Kuwait. Kuwait has an obesity issue. If you look it up,
All wealthy countries will. It's a blessing. It's a curse of a blessing, right?
So makes sense they have a lot of diet centers. So, all right. So I have some waters to drink. Very uninteresting, but refreshing. So yeah, I have beans and feta. No.
Put the cat away. No one thinks it's funny or cute.
Cream of chicken. I'm not sure if pumpkin. I think pumpkin is, it's Swedish, but it's like, not Swedish, but it's sweet-ish. But carb, kushari mix with butter chicken, cauliflower rice with fried onion. Okay. And then for dessert, keto velvet cheesecake. So it uses sweeteners.
Okay, I kind of skimmed through that. She just takes forever to open all this stuff. Here's the thing. It's just way better to just do it yourself. Like, get some chicken breasts. She said one point how I guess the most of the protein they eat in Kuwait is chicken. That's why she got, y'all remember the eggs. She got like 25 eggs for flipping 87 cents. She could just be eating eggs and chicken and vegetables, and she could literally eat enough twice a day to stuff herself full. And if you're eating some vegetables, all that fiber will fill up your stomach, and it takes a long time to digest. And I mean, I know it's not exciting for a mukbang, but she's going to do one of these like every day.
I don't really eat out as much as I used to. Like, this is a long time ordering. I haven't ordered in a while.
She talks about every moment besides this immediate moment has already been so far. Excuse me, I was clearing my throat. She acts like, except for right this literal moment, nothing else matters anymore. She has this weird sort of like social media view. Like, she looks at her stuff. If it's been deleted, it doesn't exist anymore. If it was yesterday, it might as well have been a million years ago, because in her head, she's not talking to me. She's not talking to the reactors and the typical Gore World crowd. She's talking to the new people that she has deluded herself into thinking are showing up all the time.
But this meal is pretty much free because we have a lot of points. So, okay.
Well, that's good.
Let's try this. Bismillah. I can taste some lemon.
Ew. Way to ruin it for me.
Chicken bits, herbs.
Yeah, chicken bits. I did a short. I found some jalapeno cheddar hamburger. I guess it was hamburger patties. They were on discount at my supermarket. I went in to get some chicken thighs. I was going to fry it for dinner tonight. It was okay. It wasn't the best. I think it was like ground sirloin, which I don't like as much as just regular old chuck, right? Ground round, as some people call it. It doesn't have as good of a texture. Excuse me, cat.
Let's mix this around and try the salad.
Can't really tell what's on that. Pepitas, maybe? Or peanuts? I can't tell. Looks like bits of...
With the feta.
Oh, it's feta. Feta's good cheese.
Baby bite.
She's trying to... It's alright, though. You'll get used to it. Come on.
Dressing. I need to get some balsamic.
Yeah, my wife likes a recipe she found on somewhere, Insta probably. That's feta, Brussels sprouts, and then you put some balsamic glaze on the end. So you butter up your, like, we have a glass casserole dish. You butter it up, you spread the feta evenly, you have the Brussels sprouts, and you stack them on top, and you roast it in the oven until they're nice. You know how they look when they're done. And then you sprinkle whatever. I like to use everything seasoning, and then you drizzle your balsamic vinegar on it. It's okay. Not the biggest fan of feta cheese, but she loves it. It's keto. We're focusing a little extra hard on our diet right now because of the holidays.
Let's try this. Cauliflower rice.
I mean, it ain't gonna scratch the itch, Foodie, but it's all right. You really should, Miss Chantel, a little unwarranted diet advice because I don't feel like there's lots of drama going on. If you gotta have to eat rice, you need to figure out how to keep some rice in your diet. I get the instinct to go all the way, but that restaurant bought rice you got is full of oil. It's full of oil. I promise you. That's why it's so delicious. You need to get used to just eating your plain steamed rice. Eventually, you'll love it. Eventually, you'll come to appreciate the subtlety of flavors whenever you're not eating the most delicious stuff ever, right? That's how it always works.
Nice.
I'm not sure what that
is.
is.
Like that.
It's probably some sort of curry type.
They give you so much
curry
soup.
Style.
It's gonna be less messy to just drink it.
Yeah, and there's the fucking cat again.
So,
you're just gonna let the cat sit there and stare at your food.
I don't know why.
It annoys me so much. So if you've seen any of my other videos, I've mentioned that it is a war, a constant war. I got these two, what do you call it? They're 10-year-old cats. We've had them for 10 years. They were little bitty when we got them. And they have just made everywhere their place. And I literally, every time they're on a countertop or a table, I shoo them off. I flick water at them. I take them and put them outside. But it is like they don't have any chill at all. I can't even cook without them up there. They get up there and you can't grab the cat because I've got clean hands or I got chicken hands and I can't grab the cat. So I just gotta, again, it's annoying. It's really irritating. Cats are the worst ever.
Maybe stress, I don't know.
Oh, I forget to do let's speed her up.
It does take time for it to go down, I know.
This is making me angry at the universe.
Now,
you keep jump cut. You keep having jump cuts, but I keep seeing the cat. I don't want to see the cat. I got my own cat. I don't need to see your cat. I want to watch you eat some good, healthy food for once, although it doesn't look very appetizing. Salad looks
that meal
okay.
last night that I had, I did my mukbang. After it started, my I started digesting the food. Hi, there's nothing here for you.
You shake your. Oh yeah, acknowledge the cat
Uh,
now. Uh, the iceberg lettuce, I think, is always. Correct me if I'm wrong, but iceberg lettuce is only really good like the first 5 minutes after you take it off the head. Hot take right there, but it's quick. It's a quick decline.
I felt like my heart beating. Um, I was extremely thirsty.
That's the angina. Thirstiness
I had a
is
headache.
they back in. I just recently learned this. Back in the Egyptian times, they were one of the first societies to eat like a huge portion of their meal of their food as grains. So they had a name for what they had diabetes then, and they had a name for it. It was something like paying the Nile or something like that. It was some relevance because, diabetes when you actually have diabetes and it's uncontrolled, which they would have not understood that, right? Like we still really barely understand how some of this stuff works. We see the cause and effect things, but like the mechanisms are so hard to catch, right? Anyways, but yeah, and so you lose water real quickly. That's one of the very first early symptoms is just constantly being thirsty and then constantly peeing. That's one of them. So it's
Flushed.
normal.
Um,
Is she putting her hand on the floor when she leans over and then reaching up and touching
so my
food?
issue is also not only blood sugar, but also high blood pressure. So
Well, the high blood pressure would be from
my meal had a lot of sodium.
which matters, but also doesn't really matter as long as you keep enough liquid going through your system. So her problem is that she's probably dehydrated most of the time because she's diabetic and we see what she eats and it's just very, very, very salty. I eat a lot of salt too. I ain't trying to say it's just her, but I'm aware. I keep conscious. If I have and especially we got some peanuts I like to eat and snack on. If I eat a bunch of peanuts, I know how salty that was. I'm gonna drink a liter of water as soon as I can, whether I really want to or not. I'm gonna force it down there.
Despite, halloumi is very salty. Olives are salty.
Well, yeah, it's because they're brined or whatever.
The chicken breast is frozen, so maybe it's like pre-seasoned. I don't know. It's plain, but
Well, you don't know. You taste it, you should know. Let's speed her up some more. This is even more boring.
baby gal.
Quit it. Is this a different tray than the ones they had in Thailand?
I don't know what it is, but I have to limit the cheese and olives because cheese is very, and not just that, I don't have a gallbladder. I don't digest things that are high in fat well.
Oh, I made a comment on somebody on a reaction channels thing, and it was something along the lines of, I can't imagine what I said, digestive activities or something are like, or how it feels to have that much food inside of you. She doesn't have a gallbladder, right? Which means that I don't even want to think about it. It means that she probably has lots of greasy, gross, liquidy, emissions. That's unfortunate. I assume she's on medication. I know you have to take medication for that. And that makes it very difficult. You can't really go on keto if you don't have a gallbladder because the gallbladder is like the number one fat emulsifier, whatever the digestive enzyme it releases. That's the number one thing for digesting fat. She needs to go on a high protein, high carb, like a bodybuilder. She could go on a bodybuilding, quote, bodybuilder diet. And if she limited her carbs to like potato and white rice, not brown rice, it's not good for you, has a lot of arsenic in it, like even more than regular white rice does. And maybe like, what else is a good? I guess that's really it. As far as I can think, she could be a carnivore, but she would eat mostly lean meat. You can't eat pork, which is unfortunate because pork is very, very healthy for you. You'd only eat lean beef. You couldn't have like, she doesn't have a gallbladder, and she ate Taco Bell the other day. Okay, I'm gonna pause it and find if she gets interesting at all, and then I might just wrap it up. It's been 15 minutes already, so I'm gonna pause. She says something about a cheese emergency. Also, cheese is very high in fat, and it also
My cheese
has
emergency was I had
these in the mother's milk. There is a very small, tiny amount of, I'm not sure what it's called when it's produced by a mammal, but it's basically opiates. Milk has opiates in it. And this is why dairy is probably not that great for you. And so, cheese is like super concentrated. And so there is a detectable amount, not significant. It's something like 1/100th of a dose. But there's a detectable amount of opiates, of mammalian opiates in cheese. And that's why some people, you can literally get chemically addicted to cheese, right? But it's also typically like cheddar. This is my favorite. It's salty, it's fatty, and it's got opiates in it. Fun fact. You could look it up. It's a thing for reals. Okay, pausing again.
that was one of the times
Just
like
told a
I went to the ER,
story
explained my binge eating disorder that I suspect
about she said she had a gastric crisis, and the doctor said you should eat better, and everyone in the world face palmed.
I had because I wasn't diagnosed at the time.
I hate the way she chews.
And they referred
it makes
me
me so mad.
to their outpatient program there.
So, just talk about the betas, right? Uh, I don't know. This is just it's so boring. And when I was watching her, kind of just skimming a little bit, I feel like she's sort of lost the mukbang thing, right? I mean, I don't, I'm not like into mukbangs, but there are times like we've all seen it when someone, and maybe not Nick Akata, but Mel Candy the other day did a Sonic mukbang, and I was a little mesmerized uh by the sheer amount of food that she had, which is crazy because she had like at least 2.5 times what I would get at Sonic. Anyways, let's watch her eat this cake and try to wrap it up.
Let's try this
It's
keto
fucking it's not
red velvet cheesecake.
Yeah, it sure looks like cake. Ah, she hates it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Y'all know how she reacts when she gets something good. She's struggling. It's fine. That's what you have to fight. When you're an impulsive eater, I promise you she's an impulsive eater. And I know, she does binges. You know she goes on binges, and it's a problem. If she's got to fight the mouthfeel. And the good news is that you can nutritionally supply your body with food and it not be like, I know this sounds counterintuitive, but you need to actively not make everything you eat super delicious. It's okay to just have, a 3 or 4 eggs with salt and pepper. I'll scramble eggs. I won't even put milk in it, even though that's what makes them dank. Oh, I said it. I can't believe I did that. Like, it's okay to just have a couple hamburger patties, or to have like like a sandwich. Have a sandwich without the mayo or mustard, because your body is extremely adaptable, and it's gonna adapt to everything, even the bad stuff. If you get to 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, like I have been in a habit of, that I'm fighting with, of having a few drinks, your body adapts to that. Your body expects you to do that again the same time the next day. It's the same with eating. If you got a favorite food and you eat that once a day, like, you're only setting yourself up for a letdown, because eventually it won't hit the spot anymore. Right? Eventually that 2 Coors Lights becomes 4 Coors Lights, right? It's not addictive like alcohol is. I'm not saying it's the same thing. It's different, but eventually you get bored with it. It gets old. You get adjusted to it. You should have your favorite stuff sparingly, so it'll stay your favorite, so you can always enjoy it, especially when it comes to food.
That is good. I'm trying to slow down and savor it, but I literally devoured my food. I was hungry. When you're
I don't know,
fasting, you're
man. You wait for like 16, 17 minutes. You didn't, I mean, yeah, but we've seen you do more in that amount of time.
like 14 hours. You're pretty hungry.
And that's where the battle starts at, Chantal. It will get better every time you fast. You're readjusting your hormones. If you get up in the morning and the first thing you have for 10 years is a bowl of cereal, every morning when you wake up, you're going to be hungry because your body is adapting to expect that, right? The body isn't intelligent. There's no intelligence. People don't understand that your body is literally a random assortment of elements that is in the most complicated biochemical process ever imaginable that we don't even really feign to comprehend. Nothing in your body happens because of a central control system. Like your brain tests your blood, and whenever it doesn't come the way it feels like it should, it releases a hormone. Or whenever your muscles need something, it releases a signal. And something else, another cell is designed to pick it up. And it's this random pinging of information going back and forth. And it's the most amazing thing if you can really comprehend the way your body actually works. But it's also stupid. It's also extremely adaptable, and it's going to adapt to whatever you do to it. That's why there's such an addiction problem for humanity. Well, really mammals in general, all mammals, and many birds too. Well, there was a story recently of I think it was a bunch of flamingos who ended up in an opium field, and there was just hundreds of drug addicted flamingos. But anyways, let's see what's left. 2.5 minutes.
So let's see how this affects my blood sugar, my blood pressure.
Well,
Now,
it's going to go up no matter what because any eating increases your blood sugar almost.
I'm just really trying to avoid medication, but if I do need it,
You're going to need it. And here's the thing. Here's one more last lecture thing to a woman who is old enough to be an older sibling. Not that much older. Not 1 or 2 years, but 4 or 5 years older than me. If I were 450 to 500 pounds, which is, we know that's probably what you're at, and I pulled up a reading for 369, that is emergency room worthy. That is on the verge of a diabetic coma. 400 is like you might just fucking die from it, as far as I'm aware. You should be on metformin. The thing is you put yourself in this position to where you definitely need medication. You definitely should be on medication. You should be on blood pressure medication, and you should be on at least metformin, right? And your blood sugar is probably at a state, your diabetes is probably advanced far enough that you might actually need insulin. You might not be able to ever come back from this, right? So you need to be on the pills. If you don't want to be on the pills, then you be on the pills while you work to get off the pills. That's the way it works. If I, as much as I feel the same way, if I went to the doctor and they're like, holy shit, your blood sugar is like 240, you need to be on metformin, I would have to just be on metformin. And if I really cared about not being on medicine, I would have to change my lifestyle and really work for that. The medicine is preventative. The medicine addresses things. Not preventative, it's It addresses the current situation. You should be on the pills. Now, extremely high blood sugar is toxic to your body. And with you having high blood pressure means that you are uh, less common for women to have high blood pressure, which is also hard because women have a higher risk of stroke than men do. Men have heart attacks, not exclusively. Women have strokes, obviously not exclusively. It's just the way because men tend to store fat in a visceral way around their organs. Well, we all got the uncle or our dad or somebody got the big beer belly. Well, that's probably from enlarged liver and lots of visceral fat storage around your organs. Women tend to store fat in I forget what it's called, but on the outside of the organs. Right. Anyways, uh, who really thinks that she's gonna actually change? I don't know. I mean, this was a show, and I hope, but like we've seen her mukbangs, and we hear the way she responds to that stuff, and we watch her take a bite of that cake, and as a person who doesn't love sweets really, but I've had a few of the keto-y things. I like bread, so eventually you're gonna have a cake of some sort, even if you're eating keto. Uh, it's not satisfying. And she usually drinks like full flavored juice and stuff like that. That's another thing too. If she's getting sugar straight to the dome, that cake probably tasted like fucking cardboard to her. Oh my gosh, how rude. All right, thank you.